Hey everybody, it's Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. Well, welcome to my my garage at my house here in San Diego. Just want to give you a little overview of what's in my garage as of 2020. Don't get your hopes too high because it's nothing that special. You can see there's a couple motorcycles, couple scooters. Let me tell you about that Typhoon in the corner. That Typhoon, they only sold those in North America around like 2005. It was a very short-lived scooter. That one, I hopped up on a major budget. It's just got like lots of like random bolt-on parts, but I want to tell you how fast that thing is. You can ride that thing on the freeway. It does about 65 miles an hour top speed, and it will beat a 187 kitted Vespa LX. I haven't ridden that thing for several years. It's kind of just sitting in the corner, sadly, and haven't really been motivated to get going, hence the dust on it. The next scooter there is a pretty rare one as well. That was sold only in Europe. That's called the Gilera Runner. The Gilera Runner 180 specifically, the two-stroke variant. They did make a four-stroke version of that scooter. I bought that thing in 1998. Kind of shows you how long I've been into these things. I've had several scooters, both automatics and vintage scooters over the years, but I've somehow held on to this one for a very long time. The last time I had it running was, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. Definitely was riding all around on a Vespa when a Vespa was here in San Diego, California. And again, just like that Typhoon, I bolted pretty much every Malossi goodie you could buy at the time. I'm talking 10-15 years ago, whenever I put it all back, put it all together with the Malossi cylinder kit, bigger carburetor, big pipe, different forks. I know it's kind of hidden there in the garage behind my dirt bike, but it's pretty tricked out. Does like about 92 miles an hour, and it is scary when you're going that fast. I like when people tell me they got a vintage bike that truly does like 90-95 miles an hour. Can't imagine riding 10 inches with that speed. This thing's 12 inches, just like a Vespa GTS, but it is much lighter. And I'm sorry to say, if you got a Vespa 300 with a cylinder kit on it, this thing's faster. And sadly, I'm not really into it that much. I kind of built it and had fun with it for a while and just put it in the corner of the garage. Moving on to the next one, the silver Vespa Et4. This is a very early Et4. I've reviewed it in a past video. I think it's a 1997 or 1998 model, before they actually import them in the United States. Just had it for a while. It's got a battery in it that's probably charged. The fuel's been drained out of the carburetor. I'm sure it would start right up if I wanted to ride it. Moving on to the motorcycles. A couple months ago, I rode that Honda CB1. It is a 400cc four-cylinder motorcycle. Its claim to fame in the Japanese market, this engine was the very first Honda motor with VTEC on it, variable valve timing. Way ahead of its time. This motorcycle is from 1989. They only made these for 2 or 3 years. Kind of a cool motorcycle. I'll give props out to Phil at Cleveland Moto, which he's a very successful Vespa dealer in Cleveland, Ohio. He brought this out for me along with this RD350. This is a 74 RD350 in a fairly original condition. Again, I haven't really ridden it in a while. It's fun to ride, yeah. I don't know. Don't have much really to say about it. I'm not really that much into street motorcycles. I've had some really cool street motorcycles over the years, BMW GS, Bill Ulysses, a CBR 600RR. Just not really that big of a street motorcycle guy. I'm sorry, I think they're great, but I don't know. I guess I like a slower pace of life. If you're wondering what kind of motorcycle I do like, because I do talk about motorcycles here and there in all my past videos, I'll say have some reference to a motorcycle. Well, it's off-road motorcycles. Started out with like a Suzuki DR, which was like a dual sport back in the day, in the 90s. And then I got real heavily into the 4-stroke Yamahas. It's like when they were just the fastest bikes out there. The YZ 400, 426, had 250s, had Honda XRs, all sorts of stuff. I was like, there's times where I had 3 or 4 dirt bikes at one given time, because one would have a paddle tire on it for the sand dunes. So pretty much if you go about 150 miles east of here, you'll be into pretty much the largest sand dunes in North America, right around. And just like, you can equip them differently. Everybody looks at a dirt bike, oh, it just looks like a dirt bike if you're untrained. Much like a scooter, there's a 50cc scooter is very much different than a BV350 or an MP3 500. Well, with dirt bikes, there's a very wide gamut of different types of dirt bikes. Everything from kids' dirt bikes all the way to 1200cc heavyweight adventure bikes. But this bike's kind of a lightweight bike. It's a Husqvarna TE310. I've had it for like 5 years. It replaced a KTM 525 EXC that I had before. I love that bike. Oh, there's a dent in the rim. Oops, I didn't really notice that. The KTM, I had a pretty good tumble with it. I was pretty much going as fast as I could, hit a rock somehow, and tumbled that bike, tacoed both rims, and smashed into radiators on it, along with smashed myself up. Fortunately, no broken bones. But if there's any type of riding I love more than anything, it's like riding a dirt bike, especially like in the sand dunes. It's like, I don't know, if you're a surfer, you like carving up the waves or something. If you're on a dirt bike and you're like in a nirvana of riding and you're in the bowls of the sand dunes and just carving it up, it's like, I don't know, it's pretty incredible. Riding on the beach or riding on technical terrain, I love it all. To me, the reason I love dirt bikes versus a street bike, a dirt bike to me is 3-dimensional. Riding street bikes is 2-dimensional. Yeah, don't get me wrong, there's tons and tons of technique to be a really competent, good street bike rider. But being a good, competent off-road rider, I'm not saying I'm pro or anything like that. I've been on the tracks in the past when I've been in my motocross bikes and stuff, but just the amount of dynamics of riding a dirt bike is like, I don't know, it's pretty incredible. It's hard to speak of, and not too many people get into these because they're so intimidating to figure out and how to successfully ride an off-road bike. I see people buy really, the baddest ass adventure bikes, and I know they never take them off-road, because it takes so much confidence to get it off-road. And even my confidence has been deteriorating. I'm only getting older, and I do not want to injure myself, but still, I love getting this out occasionally, not all the time. So in various videos in the past, I've covered my current scooters. I also have a Vespa GL that's not here, and a Vespa GTS, the Pacific Hwy that's not here. But these are the 3 Vespas I currently have in my garage. So here we have my 2016 Vespa Px150. And of course, it's not sold here in North America. That's why I like it. Last video was putting an obnoxious seat on it. Moving on to the Rally 200. This replaced my prior original Rally 200 I had for quite a long time. But it's still another nice original Rally 200. You could watch my prior videos and figure out the whole story of why I have this Rally over my original Rally that I had. This is just an original unrestored Rally 200. I don't ride it all that much, but when I ride it, it's like I love it, and there's something about it I just like that it's been so untouched, and it's just still everything works on it. I've done little things, to keep it going successfully, and everything's in proper adjustment, but it's just 100% original. It's like the minute I repaint something on it, it's no longer original. So I just rather leave it the way it is. It's got little nicks and scratches in it, but it's still perfect in every way to me. So that's the way it is. So I thought I'd add one little touch to this scooter that's probably proper for this era. This scooter's from 1974. That's wood grain dynamo tape, and I stamped out robot. So most people, when it comes to making a label, you think of a brother, or that's the manufacturer of a current label maker, or like some labels you print on your laser printer or inkjet. Well, back in the 70s, there was a thing that would stamp them out called a dynamo machine, or whatever you want to call it. That's like the brand that specifically made them. Well, I cleaned out my parents' garage a couple weeks ago. Fortunately not because they're deceased or anything, but they bought like another car that they need to park in there, and they just want to clean out everything. And look what I found. I wonder what my parents' names are. Oh, Paul and Nancy. And so here's this little guy right here. Let's see how it works. Let's do another robot. I like doing robots on here. And it's still got the wood grain tape in there. This thing works perfect. You just set the letter. Ooh, almost did a Q. And then you can give it a space, and then you give it a cut. And that's how you make a label right there. Robot. And it does like a perfect little cut. And this stuff is so good, the adhesive is still tacky on it. So right with my pink Vespa Motorsport sticker on my dirt bike, what's cooler than having a wood grain robot sticker and a pink Vespa Motorsport sticker? I don't know. That's how you make your dirt bike unique and original. And the second to the last scooter I got in here is my Robot Sprint. I rode this that last Sunday, kind of just rode it around town. Visited a couple people, whatever, bounced around. Met up with some old friends at a restaurants that just are barely opening here in San Diego. What is it? Pretty much early September now. And you can watch the whole entire series of this scooter when I built it a couple of years ago, pretty much 2 years ago. Put it all together and it's pretty much done, and I like it the way it is. It's all tricked out, pretty fast. You can hop on the highway with it if needed. In the nice compact Sprint chassis, I like this one. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I want to get a new GTS, but this thing, I don't know. I still like the new Sprints better, which is essentially this scooter here. And last but not least, the one that's the tool, the workout horse. You know, it's just the one I use when I got to hop on the highway and go somewhere across the border, do a little trip. You got the BV350, and I've had this one for just about a year. It replaced my prior BV350, which was just a 2013 silver one. This one's a 2017 or 2018 model, the ABS traction control. Pretty similar to the latest and greatest one that I just reviewed, but there you go. You know, sadly, I sold a pretty badass motorcycle I had. I just wasn't using that much. My last adventure bike. I was like, you know what? The BV350 kind of just does everything I need to do. Clean up the garage. I just built this garage. I have another one-car garage that's in the front of the house that I can put a car in now. Built this two-car garage for a couch and a couple motorcycles and a couple scooters. So that's Robot's Garage. I don't know. Were you expecting more? Were you expecting less? I got some toolboxes, some welding equipment, an ice maker. I don't know. That's about it. That's all I got in here. I built a whole entire garage I just finished a couple months ago for this stuff. So Robot's Garage. Now you've seen it. I don't know. I like the toys I got. I don't really want any more. Maybe a GTS 300, new Racing 60s one. But you know, my rule is I gotta get rid of something to replace it. So, I might just stick with what I got. Who knows? Until next time, this is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. Thanks for the little tour of my personal garage.